Alrighty, so here I am. Well, there I am. Here's my bottom. Hello, Jeff's bottom. Here I am at the Alberta Open in Red Deer last weekend. And at this point, I had refereed probably for 6-7 hours at this point, because we had done the kids' gi and the kids' no gi before we began the adult gi, and then this is the adult black belts. This is the first match of the adult black belts. So by this point, I've already been reffing for 6 or 7 hours. We've already been there anyway for 6 or 7 hours, most of which was reffing. Some breaks, of course. The venue was pretty nice. So you can see me there, summoning people onto the mat. One fellow in the white from GB, one fellow not from GB, don't know what club he's from. I'm shaking hands, making sure everything's good to go. Oh yeah, everyone's bent over. This is going to be a guard pull situation. Whenever people are bent over like this, they're just looking for a grip to sit. So it's a matter of who is going to sit down and establish either a closed guard or some kind of butterfly guard. They're both, because they don't want to do a bad guard pull. They want to do it. There's a guard pull. He tries butterfly, guy's countering it. Now he's trying closed guard. Guy's countering it. Now he's doing a knee shield, Z guard, or whatever people want to call that. Guy on top is countering that, and he moves to half guard top position. Sometimes you give an advantage when a guy has a really dominant half guard top position, but the guy on the bottom, you can see he's established a butterfly hook. So the guy on the top isn't getting an advantage for half guard because, well, he doesn't have half guard. He's caught in a butterfly position there. The guy's got a belt grip and stuff. So the guy on the top now is looking to pass, but not so easy in a butterfly situation. And there's the sweep, which is why when a guy has a butterfly hook, you're better off backing up than going forward. Anyway, I've awarded the 2. The guy on top is now solidifying his position. And sometimes after someone sweeps, the guy on the bottom will flip out, but this guy is pretty, I want to say he's okay with being swept, but he didn't flip out. So the guy on the bottom now is looking for his own butterfly, but the guy on top passes, and now there's the 3. And he's got a pretty good side control there, so now the guy on top has 5-0 for the guy in white. 2 for the sweep, 3 for the guard pass. And generally in jiu-jitsu, once someone starts establishing a lead, it's like pretty hard for the other person to catch up, to compensate. I mean, you see sometimes a back and forth match, but 9 times out of 10, it's not back and forth at all, and one person just establishes some points, and then more points and more points, and then the person on the bottom, like this guy on the bottom here, he's not in a position from which he can establish points. Even if he turns it over from here, that wouldn't be a sweep. That would just be a turnover from side control, you know? The guy on top, meanwhile, can get more points for putting knee on belly, for mounting. You know, here he's trying to what I call sometimes a snowplow choke, where you step over the head, but usually that just involves someone getting kicked in the head. So anyway, what I'm saying is, the guy on top is in a position where he can score more points and go for submissions. The guy on the bottom is in a position where he can't score points and he has really no submission opportunities here. So he has to exert a lot of energy just to get into a position where he can score points. And the guy on top, just by countering the guy on the bottom from escaping, he can wear away the time there. And that's not stalling. If you're stopping the guy from escaping, that's not stalling, that's just countering. Here I'm pulling the guy's belt away there because it was tied around his legs, and you don't want your legs tied together when you're side controlling a guy. You know, that's not part of the game. Anyway, the guy on the top looks like he's looking for maybe some kind of choke, but mostly he's just solidifying there. He's maybe thinking of doing a knee on belly. But like I said, mostly when the guy on the bottom is just fighting like a wild animal to escape a position, you can counter their attempts to escape, and that's considered not stalling, you know. God knows I've had enough matches where I've spent most of the match in side control, just stopping the guy from escaping, you know. I've had a couple matches in Brazil like that, you know. Anyway, the guy on the bottom continues trying to escape, but the guy on top has a pretty good hold on. He's got an underhook on the arm there, and he's both wide and heavy and flat. So when someone's wide, they can't be swept. When they're heavy, they can't be bridged. And when they're flat, it's hard to get back to your guard again, you know. So at this point, I'm pretty much, you know, as the referee, you know, refereeing black belts is actually a lot easier than refereeing other divisions. Because generally the black belts know the rules. There I give the guy on top an advantage for almost getting me on belly for, there you go. The guy's turtling, which is when you can't get to your guard or get to your knees, generally you turtle. And the guy on top's trying to get his back. Looking for hooks, the guy on the bottom's defending those hooks pretty well. Yeah, there you go. Defending mount, and he ends up in the guy's closed guard. I gave him an advantage for almost taking the back, the guy in white, that is. And at this point I stop it because they're on the edge of the mat and they've stabilized the position, so there's really no sense continuing there. Anyway, like I was saying, refereeing black belts is usually pretty easy because they know the rules and they don't, you know, they don't do anything crazy or wacky, you know. Anyway, I'm getting them to tie their belts and kimonos back on again because, you know, fashion and whatnot. And now I'm going to restart it in the fellow's guard, which is where I stopped it, over there in the safety area on the red there. So now the guy on top, the guy in black, he's down 5 points and 2 advantages, so he really has to get his game going on to pull the, you know, point deficit here. The guy on the bottom, he's making an underhook. Looks like he's going for a sweep, a waiter sweep there, and then, you know, he's going for maybe a knee bar, which is really quite bold of him. Most people with a points lead and a closed guard would just ride it out. To do this, he's sort of risking the guy on top passing and whatnot. But here, yeah, the match is over. The guy ends in 50-50 guard, and, you know, had there been more time, 50-50 guard's very hard to pass. Most people use it just to ride out time, although this guy wasn't, though. He was going for a knee guard there. He wanted to end by submission, you know. And anyway, both guys did pretty well, but this time the guy in white has 5 points and 2 advantages, so he is the winner this time out. But like I said, both of them fought well, you know. And, you know, good job, everybody. Both those dudes and myself as well.